Hey there, Urbanites, Bravehearts, and Coach Mad Hatters. I said Urbanites first, so that must mean that this part B might just be exclusively for you. Not sure yet. Um, because I get more inquisitive based questions from my Urbanites. Like they are interested. They are truly interested in understanding what's going on with them via their birth chart. Um, they are honestly tuning into the angle by which the birth chart can serve as their natal chessboard, as we are no longer playing checkers. And so explaining it to them from that angle so that they may understand the planets as their pieces and how certain infusions or influxes or ebbs and flows of energy in and out of one's day to day, how that could be mastered and served as the navigator of nuance and narrative as they take back their power in their pen. Like they are beginning to become comfortable, very, very comfy in the sharpening of their vocabulary and their swords. They are, to my surprise, like going out and getting them a vocabulary journal and populating it with the words that mean something just to them. And they are gathering up the definitions and the meanings, how it relates traditionally and how it relates therapeutically and cosmically and complementary. Yeah, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So I feel compelled to say, Urbanites, this one is for you, my darlings. I applaud you. I applaud you. I bow to you and your due diligence with getting ready for these immaculate conversations. Getting ready to host. And immaculate conversations don't always have to be bad, but they are powerful just the same. Yes, indeed, Uncle Petey. They are powerful. So, I'm gonna keep that in mind during this part, during this moment, and I'm going to um, give it all I got. Give it all I got. R&R. Your R&Rs are going to become so important over this journey and beyond. To rest and relax, to respect within reciprocity, to reset and revisit. Take your road trips, choose the railways, invest in your emotional reunions and your realizations. And emotional reunions does not mean that you need to get back. Yeah, you don't need to go and pull that from the dead. But if you should happen to run across them, allow your respectful reciprocity to lead the conversation because burnt bridges are good sometimes, not so much some other times. Whatever you are feeling led. So like I said, if you are led, if you allow your respectful reciprocity to lead, you will know, you will be propelled into the emotional reunions that deem or that are being deemed worthy. Emotional reunion, like and please allow me to stress this. Emotional reunions does not mean getting back together. That's not what it means. But it does mean that you are going to be aware of it and you're going to respect it and you are going to allow the power of you have a friend in me to live within the degrees of closeness that you are within those emotional reunions. Now, emotional reunions can also be with a parent, with a child, with a sibling, with a cousin. So, like I say, it often gets misconstrued when we, with an old business partner, with an old supervisor, with an old colleague, with an old comrade. Like it often gets misconstrued when we talk about love. I make the distinction between love and romance. Now, do we need to be emotionally intelligent within all of this? Yes. But some folks are not chemistry, like, are not cosmically um, compatible to engage in romance. And because we are often led by the physical forces that would usher in such romance, we won't know until later on down the road that it's more cosmically combustive than it is cosmically complementary. Yes. Which brings me to this. Okay, so to this, I'm gonna have a story. 2014. I certified through the Institute of Social and Emotional Intelligence. And it was a relatively small group. It wasn't a lot of us. Um, so day one or two, when you have to go around, and it was virtual. So you plug into the platform and you take your turn introducing yourself and what's going on and why you are interested in this certification and that this, that, and the third. So when it got to me, introduced myself, told everyone I was a writer, and that the reason why I wanted to acquire the certification was to be able to better know the characters within my story so that I could properly intermingle the characteristics of certain human behaviors within situations and circumstances and scholarships and study buddies, just the different tiers of relationships that humans go through. I needed to understand it better, and I definitely needed to understand it with the elements of emotional and social drivers. I needed to understand emotionality as an intelligence, as well as be able to hone into my curiosity around social constructs and conditioning and programming and traditions and cultures and diversity. It's truly because this word diversity gets thrown around and it's not being used. I mean, it's not being properly tapped into it the way that it's being perceived or projected. It seems to be a cloak. It seems in some instances a damn cloak and dagger. To tell you the truth, it just seems to be under like such a trickster energy right now. Being the seeker that I am, I often, I often tell folks, oh, that those within my circle really do underutilize me. Like I am the one that sifts through it all and then offer you up the most relatable content. Like everyone's lives are so busy. No one taps in to see what I came here for, but that's another time for another story. But like to have to get down to the bare bones of certain things and how it honestly relates to you as an individual. That's part of my unlocking mystery within my Aries and Chiron. Like it's part of my destined path that I sift through stuff and offer up the best intellectual crops or the best intellectual seedings according to what it is you tell me you need, you baffle with, you challenged with, as well as my hood soapbox. There is a diamond in the rough genre, if you will, that is always left to itself. It has to fight for funding. It has to fight for its place at the table. You know, it always has to be proving itself over and over and over again. It's always strictly scrutinized. It is always the, my words are escaping me right at the moment, but I think you get it. I'm almost sure you get it. Immaculate conversations, especially those with self, has everything to do with the journey of your inner hero. Underneath the Coach Mad Hatter's Underland University and Radio banner, our primary focus is the courtship, the relationship, the romance with the invisible side of you, with you, by you, between you, yourself, and I am. Self being capital S, capital E, capital L, capital F. Sacred slash Sankofa life energy force. Energy life force. Tapping into that thing that is encased within this flesh. Bringing its wants, its desires, its agenda to the forefront. As Rambling Mike say, putting you in front of the card. Now that I think about it, that just made, come on, let's pull a card. Let's see what comes out. I will be commissioning these soon. Yes, right now they are just my handwritten. Okay, so stand by, folks. So I will be commissioning these soon. And they are not traditional tarot, but they are not um, traditional oracle either. They are Coach Mad Hattery based. They are the flashcards of all that I've pulled over my last 24 months in conversation with all sorts of folks. Um, My 20 years in the beauty and barber industry, as well as my 12 years in nonprofit membership and marketing, mainly call centers. So, yeah, this headpiece gear, yeah, this used to be part of my daily outfit. My daily outfit. And it's something because if I would work in one of those call centers where they would rock from the moment I flipped my console on until the time I shut that joker down, this would go to the bathroom with me. Like it was literally like clipped and it was strung through my belt loop. And yeah, I hardly ever took it off. It became a everyday fixture. Yes, yes. And all day, even sometimes through lunch, I am conversing. I am sifting. I am searching for answers and resolution. And let me just if you come across this video and you work inside of a call center and you do your due diligence to bring forth your smile, your integrity, and you truly want to be a resolve for those that come across your line, namaste to you, my love. I think sometimes even the angry ones that come across don't realize how much emotional repair one has to do. Sometimes it's taken for granted. And if your supervisor don't say it, baby, I'm saying it to you. Thank you so much. Thank you for investing in your intelligence so that on your desktop is the things that are frequently asked so that you don't have folks waiting online all waiting on, waiting in the queue all day and like they really can feel the warmth in your voice when you say, "Good afternoon, this is so and so and so and so and this is so and so and it's a nice day and it's nice to help you and welcome aboard and blah 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 blah." Yeah. Those that make it their business to understand the membership fees and to understand what's going on with annual conference and to understand what the hottest publication is going on or the hottest professional development class that is hitting the scene. Like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for caring enough about your members. Even though, there may be moments where the organization might not seem like they care, they care. And you know how I know that this is true was the moment when I became a call center supervisor within the same organization that I started as a call center coordinator. And so I was able to see the flip side of that situation. Your supervisor may be an ass or may not be an ass, but the organization itself cares about what you do. I would have liked it more for the presidents or the higher ups to just pop into the call center and just have lunch. Like, come on, the budget can you come on. Your budget can maintain a quarterly lunch with your call center. It really can, and you know it can. Just pop in and sit down. Like for real. Like even do it on a day where everyone can wear their jeans or whatever. And it doesn't have to be elaborate. Call center love sandwiches because we don't want that food all over our shit. But you know what I mean when I say like, and leave the cooler with the soft drinks and stuff in it. Like bring the cooler so that the cooler can. I'm telling you, if you are somewhere inside of an organization that is giving some attention and emotionally investing in your people and you have a call center, especially if you have a call center with folks who are dedicated to your front line on a regular basis, fill up the cooler, drop off the snacks because we're glued. And listen to me, like say, I've been out of the industry for a while, but still, once a call center coordinator, always a call center coordinator. We're glued. So like to really be able to pop over right here at the cooler and get me something to drink and maybe, have a little snack or something, trail mix, almonds, walnuts, dry cranberries, pineapples. You can even do the Doritos and the chips. It all depends on what your people want. Do the fresh fruit that is right there within the call center. So, right in between calls, like right inside of the bathroom break. On my way back, I can still take a few minutes to, have me a apple juice and a banana, and then I can keep it moving. It will work wonders, I promise you. I promise you. So, all of that to say to the call center coordinators and those that be handling the front line, even the receptionists. Because once I became supervisor of the call center, the front desk and the reception area became my responsibility as well. So even the receptionist, even the reception area, especially if you have a elite receptionist, I knew a receptionist that out of her own paycheck, she would go get fresh flowers. She would go get fresh flowers. She would always have a full candy jar and fresh flowers. And I asked her, does that come out the budget? No, I just do it because it's part of an atmosphere that I enjoy. And when y'all stop by and talk, I like it when when you make mention of the wonderful candy or the fresh smelling flowers. Like that does good for my motivation, seeing as that I too am glued to this space all day. And I will say this, I did have a few VPs, a handful of VPs that were emotionally invested in understanding how we felt on a quarterly basis. Can you see this? Increase your please and thank yous. If don't nobody else believe in the magic of tarot. And this isn't even a card. This isn't even a full tarot deck. Like I'm not even commissioning it as a tarot deck. I am commissioning it as a tarot treasure trove, meaning that there are all sorts of tarot treasures within the deck, but also some life stuff, some Coach Mad Hattery stuff, some majestical mannerisms, some charm school shit. And I did. I came across some immaculate VPs that would come and just sit and chit chat in the call center. Like it did not like cost them anything to say, "Hey, how you doing?" And they didn't pop in to be disruptive. Like they still had their inside voice on, but the ones who were not taking calls, like they would speak about how wonderful it was just to have so and so pop in. I mean, even to the point where if there were some call center coordinators that missed it, like, you missed so and so just left here, and we had a wonderful conversation, which also did well for the VP because whenever the call center coordinators were in the corridors or whatever, would pop by the office and say, hey, they felt welcome to go through the door and say, hey, or to say thank you, or to say please. That's a nice card for card one. I think I want to pull one more before I keep it moving. Um, um, so, Oh, two more came out. Now, this is interesting. Now, I'm not exactly sure if it's going to go in relation to, um, yeah, I think we move it into different territory. Okay, so two cards came out. Okay, so we're investigating the goddess Oshun. I'm not sure if you can see this. So we are journaling a love letter to the inner goddess of purity, love, fertility, and sensuality. Um, and I think sometimes it gets misconstrued about what I mean when I say love letters. If it's going to be put inside your journal, it really is simply a journal entry about how you feel, but you bring in your authentic feelings around purity. And purity could be like your pure, authentic self showing up, or the love between whatever it is you're in love with, the fertility of your creativity or your courage, and the sensuality with your muses. Like, it doesn't have to be the sensuality, it does not have to be human to human sensuality. Those that really do give honorarium to their muses and the creativity that is bestowed upon them, that's a romance going on. That's a romance going on between you and your invisible world. This is an invitation for you to write about that. This is also an invitation for you to go and research and develop around the actual goddess Oshun. So, this is the Pro Personal Study Intrapersonal Development View, and it is associated with the research and development around the tarot card, the Star, as if it was your golden compass. So find out all you can around the tarot card, the Star, which can be achieved by a simple search through Google, the Star Tarot. So all you have to do is you put Tarot, the Star, and a good amount of information is going to pop up. Pull out the information, sift through the information that uh, resonates with you. Only write in your journal that which resonates with you, and then meditate upon it. Meditate upon any needs of altered prospects, newer opportunities, and kickstarts. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Um, I think it's a beautiful segue into us going over the Coach Mad Hatter's 4-day work week adoption. We are, well, we have already officially adopted the 4-day work week. So we were full days, Monday and Tuesday, off on Wednesdays, work Thursday and Friday. Saturday is a community flex day, off on Sundays. Monday and Tuesday, Thursday and Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That doesn't mean that you have to be going the entire 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. No, it does not. But as we solidly move into this adoption, especially those that will be working from home and taking on uh, telecoaching sessions, you have the liberty of having your first session at 7 a.m. and your last session at 6 p.m., which will end at 7, and you'll be done for the day, having Wednesdays off. That is in adherence to having a free weekday to get some things done while others are in session or in business, like if you have to run, to the doctors, whatever have you. So whatever it is that you may need, we figured that we would dedicate hump day as a day off. It helps recharge, especially with that type of 7 a.m., 7 p.m., like the pillars from Monday and Tuesday, Thursday and Friday. Community Flex is seriously for the Coach Mad Hatters to be able to facilitate their story pop-ups, their self-study pop-ups, their one-on-one coaching conclaves in person, um, as well as just like the research and develop field trips and show and tell and whatever it is that they want to do when they want to connect with their Bravehearts and Urbanites face to face. And that's not to say that during the week they cannot, because it really is the choice of the Coach Mad Hatter whether they would like to facilitate via the telephone, via Skype, in person. We just realize that if you do decide to do face to face, that unless you set up like a collective workspace or something like that, and they come to you, you will have to incorporate travel in that. Travel diminishes the soul if you have to be traveling in between clients. You leave a piece of you with inside that commute. But to each his own, okay? Like do it however it feels good to you. But to adopt the 4-day work week allows the Coach Mad Hatter some time to infuse its life and not demand so much its from its workspaces. Um, so yeah, also I would like to just say Levenger. Now remember, this is the season for Levenger. So Levenger.com. They have these cards, and I'm like I said, I'm focusing on, but still, I'm going to see if you can see it. But they have these cards that outline the week. I don't think you can see it, and they fold like this. I have several of them grouped together because I have certain things going on within that. Within what is this? I think this is my 4 or 5 week span. But this one card, this one card is a week, and it folds. It folds like this so that you can see it per day. And so yeah, like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is on one face of the card, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is on the second face of the card. But Saturday and Sunday, you don't get you on Saturday and Sunday is in one card. Like the week is in a full face of the card. So this is one day. Then Saturday and Sunday is on the same card, and they fold just like this so they can conveniently fit wherever you need to go and have your week at a glance. And it really is an ingenious concept. So I've fallen in love with being able to see my week at a glance because I'm still very much a paper person. Um, some things I will populate my gadget with, but there are some things I just need to hold in my hand. Which also, let me just say, like the card deck is from um, card stock from Levenger. This is the to-do list, the to-do card. And so I just took an entire stock of Levenger cards and just started writing out um, what was pouring out of me when the notion came through to say, you're going to commission a deck. Who going to commission a deck? Who commissioning a deck? Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so we're gonna get into the houses as promised. I have rambled on enough, and yeah. So, when I first pulled my birth chart, Astro Twins. The Astro Twins has I can't think of what it is right now. It's a ah, it's not a it's not a it's not a worksheet. It's a cheat sheet, and it goes according to, because this is where I got this information from. I'll link it in the keynotes. So they have it as situated planets, signs, and houses. I don't know if it's in that order, but and it gives you an at a glance uh, the zodiac signs in conjunction with their planetary influences and the houses of each and how all of that is situated. So yes, I will definitely link that in the keynotes to make life a little easier. Yes, when I received my birth chart, the very first time I looked at it, it was such a foreign language. I had no idea what I was looking at. Um, I'm grateful for the brief commentary that was in between each uh, carve. I don't know, in between each coordinate, because it made it a little bit easier. What developed my language was my immovable determination to sit with it. And so some things started to become familiar. And then as I constantly would tap into different other sources, dots started to connect. So this is one of the things that this is one of the ways I broke down my chart. And so I wrote out all of the coordinates and I highlighted my sun, my moon, and my ascending, just so I could tell what that was immediately. And then I highlighted the portions that us as Coach Mad Hatters will truly be looking at, like so that I could immediately be able to identify what mine was, since I will be the leading example as I try to interpret all of this and learn all of this and frequently speak and sharpen my own vocabulary, my own sword. So it's the sun, moon, and ascending, and then it's where all of my Saturn is placed, as well as my Chiron, my black moon Lilith, and my part of fortune. And then also, just so that I could better understand the language, I took the liberty of just giving all the houses a brief, so that I could see where each thing was. So Aries, um, considered the first house. Star power, self-awareness, challenging assignments, self-development, personal growth. My Chiron in Aries, my wounded healer around my star power, my self-awareness, my challenging assignments, my self-development, and my personal growth. These are the moments when I wish that those around me understood, like fluently spoke this language. I can't even imagine the type of conversations we would have, unlocking and decoding certain mysteries around our existential clues and cues around what we came here for, that would infuse, that would spice up this relationship with self. Neo, you are the one. You just have to say so. Anyone who has ever questioned any of my challenging assignments, my self development, my personal growth, to know what it means to have Chiron and Aries right there, it's just like I understand. I understand why you went through what it is that you went through, or why you're going through what it is that you're going through, or why you are so obsessed with finding out certain things, why it is that you have put everything on hold until you understand this language. Versus me always having to have my words mangled and misconstrued. Taurus, second house, around money management, ethics, family values, sensuality, smells, taste, sounds, traditions, and the daily work. Gemini, third house, friendships, peer relationships, neighborhood activity, local involvement, communications, writing, thought processing, intellectual exchanges, new ideas, transportation. These are key turn words. Does not mean that this is exactly what's going to happen, does not mean that, how can I say this? It's not an all inclusive, all exhaustive, 100% mirroring summary. They are turnkey words. They are golden keys that can help you unlock some mysteries or help you unlock doors where some of your clues and cues may be found. Cancer, fourth house, home, family, female relationships, nurturing, comfort, educational needs, personal security. I'll also say, with my Saturn being in Gemini, my instances around communication and writing and thought processes and intellectual exchange and new ideas, peer relationships, I understood that about myself first before well, no, that's not true. Both of them sort of simultaneously. My Chiron in Aries and my Saturn in Gemini. Um, I kind of toggled between the research and development when I was unfolding um, these two, mainly because I was under the strong investigation to find out what the fuck gives. Like, what's going on with this seemingly stagnant nature, the seemingly stagnant phase that feels more like a curse than anything else. Slowly but surely, the information began to speak to me. That started to like feel like a whoopee. It started to feel like that comforting conversation with Nana. Like, baby, let me tell you something. I'm gonna need you to stand firm on this. I'm gonna need you to understand that all that you're going through is meant to be so you can be free. And come on in here and get you some apple pie if you like. And you could put a dollop of French vanilla ice cream on it if you feel like it. Leo, fifth house, love, dating slash courtship, romance, fashion, leadership, creative expression, assertiveness, fame. Now, I will say that the words, the keywords, the golden keys that I am revealing to you does play in some, well, in most instances, in conjunction with the zodiac's formal archetype, its formal, fundamental characteristics. So, if you are in fact a Leo and these words resonate with you, that could give uh, indication to your personality and emotionality, have at it. It's yours to have. Neo, you are the one. Virgo, sixth house. Healthy living, wellness, work, daily routine, rituals, organization, habits, intellect. Libra, seventh house. Hmm. Relationships, equal partnerships, commitment, joint ventures, justice, artistic abilities, fashion, diplomacy. Scorpio, eighth house. Sexuality, intimacy, shared resources, depth, spirituality, wealth building, investing, privacy, power, transformation. Sagittarius, ninth house. Travel, study, higher learning, religion, media, media making slash publishing, cross cultural relations, speaking the truth, seeking wisdom, personal expansion. Capricorn, 10th house, building legacy, ownership, public image, career, long term plan, structure, providing for family. Aquarius, 11th house, community, new thought, ideas of revolution, metaphysics. Pisces, 12th house, inspiration, meditation, creativity, compassion, healing, healing, psychological wounds, the subconscious mind, and boundary. So those are the 12 houses. I am eager to meet the future version of me that can weave and quilt certain other context with this content. And I know that with this just being the seed, I wrote this August 18th, 2019. And so that was when it was very fresh to me. And each and every time I sit with it, something solidifies, something absorbs, and it begins to permeate inside of all the other shit that go dancing around in my head. And the more and more I spend with it, the more and more I am able to weave it into my conversation that not only bring healing for me, um, but infuses, it enriches um, certain commentary, especially during the moments when I'm able to say, I see you, I get you, I feel you, I understand. Firsthand, I understand. I understand. I overstand. I round and round as we stand. So with that said, folks, we're going to end. This is the end. This is the end of part B. Um, I definitely would like to bring back to the forefront of your awareness that we are planning a journal fitting party. It will be in care of the Coach Mad Hatters as well as the Sea Goat Squad. We are going to meet up and we're going to talk about journals and how they fit. We are going to um, throw around the idea of how a good journal at the beginning of each quarter will truly do the soul some good. It'll do one's creativity some good. Um, we are going to talk a little bit about one's birth chart. I am working to see if I can identify or link up and invite a few folks who would be willing to sit as panel and sit with folks to just briefly, give introduction to one's birth chart and start the seeds of understanding so that we can capture this thing as well as, just kick some knowledge around. I'm going to be bringing quite a bit of my notes with me so that those that are interested in just, tapping into some of the things that I am deeming valuable existentially during this autumn self study cycle. They could just begin to populate while on site, just populate their journals, give them a few intellectual seeds to run with, begin to harvest. And I think that that's where I am right now. Like me bringing my discovery uh, in that type of space will be me sharing some of my intellectual harvest. Um, and I think that is about it. So stay tuned for that. Be on the lookout for that news, as well as um, always extending the invitation to get in touch with us if, in fact, you would like to just unpack some things around uh, your birth chart. I will not be able to give you a reading. I am not in that arena. I'm in the seat though, and I'm working my way to the arena. But as of now, I do have a few key folks that I can refer you to. Um, so make sure that you are in a position to financially invest in that service. And yeah, folks, I think that that is it for installation day 9. And so thank you so much for joining me. You know I do. I wish you well.